Hello, my fellow Geeklings, and welcome back. And if you're new, you've come to the right place. I am showing you another tutorial. This is video number 4, showing you how to rig the door that we modeled previously. And if you didn't follow along with that tutorial and you just want to jump ahead to the rigging part, yeah, link below, and let's continue on. So now we're going to be doing rigging. So first things first, I have all these pieces that are separated. I did combine them into one material, like you can see. And all I did was select everything and then went into UV pack and hit pack, where it just put it all together. So now I'm going to check their face normals, and I see that they are red. This will cause for your normals to be flipped. If you bring in this asset right now, you're going to see this. That means all the faces that you are currently looking at, on that everything that is red in here is going to be flipped, so you see the inside of it. So to fix that, we will select with faces, hit A. Not control, just hit A and then shift N. It says it's going to recalculate normals. And if it doesn't do it for you, then hit this button for the inside. So you see that turned blue for me. And just to double check, I'm going to do my slash key. Everything is good. So now I'm going to do that for the other side. I'm going to press A and then do shift N. And just to be sure, everything's good. And now we can move on to the next step. Oh, let me just show you that it did truly fix it. So don't worry about how I exported just yet. I'm just showing you this as an example. So, see? It is fixed. Yay! But to continue on, we are going to talk about the rigging. So first things first, let me turn off face normal. And I want all of these meshes to be in one mesh, one rig. The rig is what's going to be controlling it to move. So I'm going to select the frame and the two doors and hit Control J, and this should combine everything down to one. So let me just rename this to SciFi Door. And then I'm just going to make sure that the material, I'm just going to name it M SciFi Door. And what I'm going to do is hit Shift A, go to Armature, and you see that we could see it right there. If we want to see it on the other side, go down to the data, object data properties, viewport, and hit in front, so you never lose sight of it. But what I want to do is make sure, because this is going to be my root bone, and I am going to rotate this Y, and bring it over just like so. So what I'm looking at is in the corner, you'll see 90. So you can hold shift or control to get like a smoother thing, or just let go and just hit it right off of here. And I'm gonna move it over. I'm gonna make sure the little ball piece is just right under our door. And then I'm gonna go hit Tab, Edit Mode. I'm gonna select the end piece of my armature and hit E and Z because I want it to just go straight up. So let me go to my move tool. I want it about right there. So now what I'm gonna do, so that's my midpoint. That's the only reason why I made this, so that way I have like a middle part to look at. I want to create a new, so hit Shift A. Sorry, in object mode, Shift A. I want to make another armature. It's going to be directly, oh, it should have been directly. Oh, it is. So I'm going to bring that over as well. And what I'm going to do is bring it up. I'm going to make sure this one has it to where it's displayed in front. And I want to rotate it to where it's like both the doors are kind of facing each other. It's almost like an arrow aiming at each other. So I want to do RX, bring it over to where it's 90. I will bring it over. And just using that as my guide. And what I can also do is do Shift D and click to create a copy of this. So I'm going to bring it over to this side. And what I'm going to do is do the same thing where I do RX, hold Control to bring it over, make sure it's 180, and there. So those will be my two door frames. Now we can delete, go into edit mode. I can delete this bone because I was only using that really as like a guide. And I'm gonna just like delete bone. So now I'm going to select these two, then this one, and hit, let's see, join. We will check. Let me go into pose mode. Okay, so this one is in fact, because you want to get the bone that is directly on top. And what we're going to do is go back into edit mode, and I'm going to name this bone with all caps, just root, so that way I don't lose track of that. And then this bone, I'm going to name it door dot R for right. And this one, door dot L for left. And that's all we have to do for that part, for the naming at least. Now we want to go down to the bones, relations, and now we want to have it to where make sure connected is turned off. We want the parent to be the root bone, because in order for it to go into Unreal, everything has to be connected under one root. So as you can see, this one is now under, it is a child of the root. The root is the parent. Now we want this one to become a child, so we are going to select our root. Or another way is just to click and you can see a list of all the bones that are available. So I'm going to hit root. If you were to have it connected, it'll automatically move this bone and snap it over just like that. We don't want that. So we are going to connect it to the root, and you'll see these lines showing that they are connected. So now we can move these, and you see that line moving and everything. The root bone, it'll move everything at once. So now we want to connect this mesh to our rig. But let's just make sure we zero out everything. So we're going to do Control A, all transform. So now everything is zeroed out. And what we're going to do is go into our mesh, then our rig, Control P. We are not going to do automatic weights. We like to set things ourselves. So we're going to do empty groups. And now when we go into our mesh, we will see under object data properties, now you will see all the armatures or the bones that we have listed under here. So when we click on this button and go to weight paints, everything should be a dark blue, which means nothing is being influenced. We want the left, so this left door, we want it to be all red. So it'll be oh, that's right, it's to the vertex. So this is why we don't really brush in here, especially for lower poly models. So we go into edit mode and we are going to select all. So the way I grabbed everything was hit the L key. Once I had one face selected, I hit the L key, and I'm going to hit normal just to make sure everything of that mesh is selected. And I am going to see this option come up, weight 1. So we want to hit assign. And to check our work again, we can go back to object mode, weight paint. It is all red. So now when I go over to my rig and go back into pose mode, I can move this and now my mesh is attached to that bone. So we just have to do the same thing to the other side. So we're going to go to object mode, go back to our mesh, go into face. We are going to hit L, make sure it's set to normal to select all. We are going to move up to the door right and hit assign. And we have this and this moving. So now let's just do our door frame, put it into the root. So let's go into object mode. Hit the L key to select everything, root, assign. So now everything will move. So now we have, what we did was, instead of bringing 3 separate objects into Unreal and having to have a timeline to animate these doors opening and controlling 3 different components and having that take up space in your folder, now we reduced it down to where we have this one mesh that you can move around and have an animation that'll come up next for our door. So video number 5 will be focused on animation and how we're bringing it into Unreal. So keep a lookout for that video. And then after that, we'll bring it all in and have some cool features on there. So I hope you like and subscribe and follow me for like the next video. All right, I hope you have a good one. Bye.